So this is another edition of my story. I promised I was going to bring you a full dose and of course different perspectives about my story, how I started out in life and how I got to where I am. The essence is perhaps it will stir up someone, perhaps it will motivate someone out there who is still at a certain level, struggling and even contemplating quitting what you are doing at the moment. So the other time I explained how coming in contact with a couple of consultants while I was in the banking sector, uh, steered my passion and channeled my energies towards consulting. So there's another version of that story which I have chosen to share today as your favorite consultant, right? So stay tuned. Let's go there. So while I was in the university, precisely in 2003, the then president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, appointed Professor Chukwuma Soludo as his economic advisor first and foremost. So Soludo coming on board as Obasanjo's economic advisor um, after a couple of months or years, I can't remember exactly now, but then after a while, his performance, his sterling performance in that position made the then president to make him the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, you know. And all of us who followed the events of those years can attest to the fact that Professor Chukwuma Soludo performed exceedingly well as the then governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And so, because he was now a very popular person, I mean, his profile was everywhere on the internet and stuff like that. So, I personally got interested because I was impressed each time Soludo makes public presentation, either to the Senate or talks on TV or speaks in any public forum. I was usually very impressed at the depth of this man's knowledge, his how cerebral he is and how good he is at what he does. And I got to understand that Soludo has never studied anywhere outside Nigeria. In fact, outside UNN precisely. His first degree in economics, he got it in UNN. His master's degree, he got it in UNN. His PhD, he got it in UNN. So he was not like one of those Harvard products, one of those Ivy League products that came back to Nigeria to shine and dazzle. So I began to ask myself, this man, as sound as this, in fact, as at that time, I was meant to understand that Soludo was consulting for World Bank, was consulting for IMF, and all the Bretton Woods institutions, right? And I challenged myself. This man passed through this university where I am currently as a student. Uh, Please, whatever Soludo got here that made him who he is, to be consulting for such very reputable international organizations, I am going to get it as well. I challenged myself that yes, I was going to bend down, read my book, work as hard as possible, and come out a very sound person, a very reputable person like Professor Chukuma Soludo, right? And so when the motivation to go into consulting came, it also reminded me of the fact that Professor Chukwuma Soludo was consulting to World Bank, to IMF, and things like that. And so I told myself that, look, I think I was going to work hard to consult for either of these institutions or even to work there, either at the United Nations or any of our agencies. And so that's what made me, that's this probably a story for another day. This is what pushed me to go and do my first masters in NDA, Kaduna, and stuff like that. But then, long story short, to bring fast forward this story, I I worked very hard, came out, I mean, all the journeys of the banking and then the motivation into consulting, and then somehow, somewhere, I also consult for World Bank as at today. I thank God for where I am. I mean, like I've always said, I haven't gotten there. I'm not yet in the destination where I'm going. But I am so pleased that a couple of things that motivated me in the early years of my life, be it when I was a student, like the story I told about Charles Soludo, be it in the journey of my banking career, and that has brought me to where I am as a consultant, and has also taken me to where today I consult for, or rather, I have consulted for very reputable international organizations such as IITA, such as the World Bank, uh, is a very pleasant one. And I feel, as your favorite consultant, that I should share stories like this. It might inspire you that what you see today as a fantasy, what you see today as a wish, can actually come to fruition if you remain tenacious, if you persevere, if you cross the right T's, dot the right I's, work hard to develop yourself and to come out uh, as the best of what you can. Definitely, you can achieve that which you see and which you fantasize. But the watchword is commitment, persistence, hard work, and then do not be distracted along the line. Right? Remember the story of the Echoes of Diamond? At the point where you might be getting discouraged or distracted, might be the point where you are quite close to accessing the diamonds. So remain focused, remain consistent, remain tenacious, and always watch this space. Click the bell button for notifications each time we drop our very valuable nuggets that will enable you to grow in whatever you do, so that you can continue to listen to us and get vital inspirations. Also, do not forget to share this clip with your loved ones, with your cronies, with your friends, and with your colleagues. And do not forget that I remain your favorite consultant, Engineer Oliver Uchechukwu Eze. Bye for now.